Paris Saint-Germain here. RAFIFA signed after Miami for them. Obviously a massive club in traditional sports. But now they're stepping into the esports arena. And here we go. Of course, it's going to be home kit for, I believe, RAFIFA. And it's DAXEE ending up with the away kit.
Yeah, this is obviously the interesting one here. Both players
PSG,
from PSG. But who's going to get off to the better start? As you said, from left to right is DAXEE in the red. RAFIFA playing in the home kit of PSG from right to left. And right now it is DAXEE on the attack here with Mane down on this bottom side. He's taken one too many touches there. And that's the first goal kick after 4 minutes.
And we should point out, players-wise, the cutoff was Monday. So obviously the massive team of the season announcement yesterday, well, it's not an announcement, but the team of the season players that came out are not available to them. So their cutoff was Monday. So obviously you're not going to be seeing your 98 Hazard that was in there. Something like
the most consistent, which came out last week, of course.
Yeah.
Pretty much the big ones in this. As we see a ball over the top there. He's going to go a little bit too far, though. And Marcelo will deal with this one nicely. Just clearing out. DAXEE being played here. Ooh, that is a dangerous little pass, but DAXEE actually will just recover from that one. Maybe a little bit of nerves in this first one. As we've said, these guys are teammates, so you'd have expected that they've done some practice together. And we see here DAXEE making a push forward. Mane getting past his man, and Ronaldo will slot it in. And that is the first one, the first goal here of the finals.
Well, that is definitely a settler of the nerves for DAXEE. Getting the opening goal against his teammate, who, well, did let goals in, but scores a lot himself. So, well, we know DAXEE is not afraid to get going early. I mean, that's a perfect setup for him. Of course, we are on the Xbox here. It does mean the legends are available, which is why you saw the likes of DAXEE running down the wing. That was a little unusual. That's not something we're used to seeing, a DAXEE sprinting down the wing. Obviously, you've seen Hullet in there, as well as obviously your traditional players like your Kyle Walkers there and your Ronaldos, who pretty sure will be getting himself a legend card the second he retires. As it is, though, Marcelo trying to work it down the wing for DAXEE. Getting himself that early goal. But as we saw in Madrid and many times over, an early goal is not always a good signal. Think back to, obviously, Aga, also representing PSG. Got himself a 2-0 lead in the opening game in Madrid, and that was whittled away. So don't rule RAFIFA out just yet, as Suarez passes it to Ronaldo, trying to work it down the wing. Suarez was looking available, but he's going to bring it back. Trying to find some opportunities. Vieira gets a nice little ball, and it's a quick 1-2 to Messi. Oh, it's Hullet that almost broke the offside trap there. Trying to spring it through, but DAXEE defending well so far in the red.
Nice bit of link-up play here in the middle. It's going to set Pogba free. Down on this bottom side, he's basically done Marcelo there, completely throwing him off. Here's Mane! Oh, and he goes for the shot, but he's dragged it a little bit, and that goes wide. An opportunity there for DAXEE to take a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes going 2-0 up. We'd never say it's impossible, but that would be a fantastic start for him.
Yeah, and at this level, you just can't afford to miss those big chances like that. And you could see, actually, DAXEE's reaction instantly. He thought he'd scored and just knew he dragged it too far. But this time he's got Mane in another great position. Kind of a little misplay there. Wanted to try and tap it through. Mane's got it back here. If he can get the through ball, he tried the little pirouette on Ferdinand there. Wasn't having any of it. Sergio Ramos has got it back here. DAXEE's looking very good in this opening game so far, and that's a slide ball for Mane. Turns his man. Oh, it just couldn't get past Van der Sar.
Brilliantly done once again. He's going to get a corner off that. Again, taken short here. Mane skips past the first one. Pele will centre it there towards Marcelo. He's taking an extra touch and just trying to find that hole. Oh, DAXEE's gone down there. Referee says no contact, though. And that is RAFIFA maybe getting away with it. We'll send a long ball off towards Suarez as well. He's got a man waiting in the middle, but he's got to get past the defender. It was Dani Alves. Does go down, and actually it's gone out for the goal kick. So RAFIFA thought he was in there. In the end, gets nothing from it.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how that works. Obviously, the FA in England just ruled that diving is going to be bringing possible red cards next season. We'll see how that works out. But of course, we're in FIFA 17 here. And nothing given for Suarez this time around. Obviously, it was adjudged to be a fair tackle. Mane to Pele. Now through to Pogba, looking to run it through the middle. Hullet's got options available, and Ronaldo almost broke the offside trap and darted past Ferdinand, but wasn't having any of it. Big Patrick Vieira finds Lionel Messi. We saw so much from him for RAFIFA in Miami, but he's barely got a squeak of the ball so far. Pogba skipping the pass there. Mane picks it up, gets dragged back. That's going to be ruled a foul. And wow, you saw RAFIFA very angry there.
I was going to say, he's not exactly looking composed there. A lot of emotion coming through for him. 1-0 down, of course, still the first group stage game, so even if you end up losing here, there's plenty of time to bounce back. But this, make no mistakes, is a cutthroat group. Absolutely insane how strong this one is. As there is the ball taken by Ronaldo.
It's one of those groups that obviously we've been talking about. Dasari in there, Messi's through. This is a good chance. RAFIFA, oh, he's pulled it wide. Well, you got to be thinking he's got to be tucking those chances away, and you could see just a little reaction from him, a little shrug. But he's got another chance here. Suarez can put it back through for Messi. It's a quick early chance. Desai almost made a hash of that one. It's gone back to Suarez. It's bundled all over the place, and Marcelo finally gets it clear, and Dax can breathe a little bit of air there. Jeez. He's given himself in some serious trouble already, but that's a great through ball. He's onside Ronaldo because he was played on by Marcelo down the bottom corner here. Now if he can get a cut back, Mane's not quite in position. Suarez, oh, is not there. And in the end, it just goes out, and that came back off RAFIFA, Dax's player, so it all goes astray. But man, RAFIFA is going to be thinking those big chances. He's got to make sure, obviously, half-time coming up here. Just got to get it settled a little bit. He seems very nervous so far as to his play. Obviously very passionate, you know, Brazilian player in there. But he's up against Dax, and he's a veteran of the scene, even though he is a young kid.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess we could say keeping himself very, very calm so far. Why not? He's got a 1-0 lead. That could change it, though. Vieira going to tee it up. Vieira will dive off to his right. And a possible last chance here in this first half with a corner for RAFIFA. Looked to take it short, but there were two men there. Instead sends it in. It's now Walker who will give it back off to Hully. Back in then to Walker. Space here for Messi. Turns his man. Oh, he's just taking it away from him. Basically the air shot there in the end. And as that's cleared, there is half-time coming in. It is Dax who holds the lead.
So just the one goal early on. And about the 12th minute there for RAFIFA. For Dax, the man on your screen. RAFIFA currently trailing. Dax getting a couple of words of wisdom in his ear. Maybe just calm him down a little bit. You know, obviously he has the lead now, which in a group as this, you know, we've been still talking about groups of death, but, you know, we have to because there are two champions of the regions here, both obviously Miami and Whistler for the rest of the world and the Americas. So Dax coming into this one as, I believe he was second or third place finisher in Madrid. We haven't talked about Nicolas Raziak. He's kind of like the underdog in this group.
Now, if you're in his position, you'd be really happy. Well, I mean, not exactly happy to be drawn in this group, probably, but on the other hand, happy that, you know, where's the pressure? This is the first goal that went in, obviously. It was a fairly early one, just 10 minutes in.
And it was the simple, what's coined as the sweaty goal, the simple cut-back tap-in that beats the keeper almost every time. Almost, I say. It's 9 out of 10 times. There is a couple of them we have seen saved. But, yeah, talking back to Nicolas Raziak, obviously tweeted out, it's like, well, that's the groups. But, you know, if you think back to the group of deaths we've had throughout, obviously, the regional qualifiers, it's actually been the underdog that's snuck his way through. So Nicolas may well be in a good situation. Who knows?
Yeah, and again, it goes back to the whole, is the pressure off? Then you probably even to yourself think, well, I've got no pressure on even from my side now because I'm in this group of death. I'm not expecting to go through. I'm just going to go there, have fun, and try and progress as far as I can. We have half-time, of course, though, so let's check in with Spencer and see what's going on across the board.
Yes, guys, thank you very much. My job throughout today and tomorrow is going to be to update you on some of the games you're not seeing on the stream. I've been watching them all, seeing plenty of goals go in, let me tell you. And one game that stood out for me is a game from Group 2, and it's a game between #TAS and Feyenoord Quintin. So obviously Quintin playing for the Dutch club Feyenoord, and TAS being the winner of the Paris Regional. So you can see here, obviously, they haven't played a game yet. They're in the middle of their first match, so currently no wins, losses or draws for the guys. There has been one goal in this game, and it's currently at the halftime stage, and you've currently got Quintin in the blue here and Tass in the white. You can see Tass on the ball with Messi. Cheeky little through ball to Ronaldo. It's pretty much a standard goal as you're going to see, one-on-one with the keeper. Ronaldo's going to put that in. Nice finesse finish in the bottom right of the goal. So that game is currently 1-0 to Tass. Another half to play though, who knows what could happen. I'll keep you updated in that and all the other games. But for now, back to you two.
Thanks a lot, Spencer. Tass up then. I think a lot of people have looked at him and said he is the favourite for this. Obviously a long way to go until that, but starting off well.
Well, he won in Paris and won in dominant style, obviously against Rocky, who put a pretty decent challenge on him in the final, but outside of that, he was by far the best defense. And even through a bunch of regional stops, a lot of the players were saying, who would you prefer to imitate? And a lot of people were saying Tass because of the way he played and obviously getting that early goal. Interesting to see how his team is, because obviously he had a bit of a dilemma. I talked to him last night and he's been talking about it on Twitter a lot. Wasn't sure whether to stick with Pelé, because obviously that was the guy that scored the goals for him in Paris. So wasn't sure whether to stick with him or change to maybe some of the better cards that have been released since.
So early on here, free kick for Dax on his top side. Got space here for Mane. Not going to have a shot though, and we'll see Ronaldo being dispossessed. Nice. That's a great little touch from Messi. Where's the through ball going to come in though? It's not at all. Sergio Ramos will go straight through him in a quick bit of play here from Dax. He will now put Pelé through. Possible turn. He does get the turn in. Surely will score. He will. He buries it in the bottom left, and that was a fantastic goal from Dax.
Absolutely brilliant skill and composure in that position. Really, obviously, gives himself that big opening chance for Pelé, the legend, on the Xbox. And just to compound this, really, RAFIFA never lost a single game in Miami. He's got 22 goals, 7 wins, 2 draws, didn't lose a single game. So he is up against it in his opener here against his PSG teammate, Dax, who obviously, like I say, won that ESWC a while back, but certainly proven to have some of that form. We weren't really sure how this was going to work out for Dax. Obviously, he put in some pretty damn good results when we were in Madrid. Obviously, the biggest one being that 5-4 epic against Dragon in the knockout stages of the lower bracket. But as it is so far, he has started off very confidently, and obviously compounding it once again with another early goal at the start of the half.
Yeah, fair play to him. I mean, pressure certainly on, and in this group as well, and he's kicked it off brilliantly. Here's Pelé now. Going to turn again back inside, pulled it across, and Mane will again find that clinical touch to put it in. And you see the frustration there for RAFIFA. Dax on his feet though to celebrate, going 3-0 up. And at this point, it's about securing victory for him. It'll be an epic comeback if RAFIFA can do this. Let's not forget though, this group stage is round robin. They'll all play each other once, and goal difference can and has made a difference in our regional finals before. So conceding as little as you can and putting a couple of goals in here for RAFIFA, especially in a group of death like this, could make all the difference.
Yeah, and obviously the other group game for this matchup is MS Dasari versus Nicholas Razek. Dasari, by the way, flying in overnight. Had his exam yesterday at 2:30, got on a plane at 4:30, flew here, landed at 9:30, and was straight in here. Was obviously in a nice, comfy business class, so he wasn't exactly in a tough old position. And he actually, I spoke to him before we started this. He's like, he's feeling pretty confident. Sorry, that was Royal. Talking about Dasari, going back to that, he actually flew in last minute into Whistler. That's the one I was asking. I knew I was getting around the houses eventually, Joe.
I mean,
losing the plot.
The story still stands. We'll repeat it a little bit later on.
But going back to my point, is that Dasari is leading 1-0 against Nicholas Razek currently in that game. That is still going on. It's around about the same time limit as this, so there's still plenty of time to play.
Here's Dax then, looking to find number 4. Marcelo going to chip it over the top, and, well, Vieira got there first. Not sure he was actually aiming for the man that it really went to there, as Mane is going to send Pogba on this top side. Creates a bit of space for himself. He's going to have to get past Marcelo. And doesn't, but Marcelo almost making a bit of a hash of it there in the end. RAFIFA will clear, but he's again taken one touch too many. Dax are going to take the ball away from him. This could be dangerous as Mane looking for his second. Won't get past Ramos though.
Yeah, tense stuff here. And, well, for RAFIFA fans, he needs to get scoring. He needs to get some goals early on. Nicholas Razek has just equalised in that other game in this group. So that actually does RAFIFA a favour, because if they only come out with 1 point apiece, RAFIFA's still got a really good chance. But if someone comes out with a win in that, and obviously we're looking at 3 points, suddenly it gets very tricky for him. So despite the fact he's 3-0 down here, his groups are not over yet. Obviously, this is the first game. Looking across the board, a lot of 1-0s actually across the board. Apart from one standout game on the PlayStation, I can see a 6-1 scoreline, Stranger versus Sehan. And it's Stranger that's leading 6-1. I would not have predicted that one. Obviously, Stranger qualified in Madrid. Sehan was the PlayStation winner in Paris. He's just gone 6-2. 72 minutes gone here, though, Joe. It's not looking like RAFIFA's going to pull himself back just yet. He's got 18 minutes to go. Think back, obviously, back to, say, New York. Think of Sean Allen. I really hate bringing him up every time. He's probably sat at home thinking, oh, great, here we go again. But Hamid Al-Bakr coming back in that game. And, well, it may well be 4. It's Ronaldo. Dax gets another. And may well just be too much to climb for RAFIFA.
Yeah, thought he'd taken one touch too many there. And I think he realised that as well, which is why we saw the slide coming in. And was able just to find the back of the net. 4-0. This is a big, big lead. And it's going to be a big win for Dax. And maybe a sign of intent really thrown out from him here. Showing that, we look at this battle, America's winner versus a European qualifier only. To put that in quotations, if you like. And this is what everyone really wanted to figure out, because everyone thinks deep down that Europe is probably the strongest region. And this is what we're going to find out over the course of the day, if that really rings true. Of course, this is an early indicator, possibly, that 4-0 Dax here as we approach that 80th minute. But composure has certainly been there for Dax, and any early worries for him are definitely out of the window.
Yeah, I mean, he got the early goal at the start of the first half, an early goal at the start of the second half, and it's just been compounded. Misery compiler is what you'd like to call it. It's 5-0 here, and Dax has very much secured himself a big goal difference score, as well as the 3 points, if it were to come down to it, which we have seen throughout group stages in the regionals.
Yeah, and of course the other game that you mentioned, the Stranger versus Sehan, another big scoring one. We're going to have Spencer go through that one after this game is finished, so make sure that you guys see all of those. But in this one, Dax, well, 5-0 up. Didn't expect this big of a scoreline between these two players, especially, of course, with them being PSG teammates. But at the end of the day, this is a 1 versus 1 competition, and whilst, of course, you wish your teammates all the best, if you're up against them, you want to beat them.
It's cutthroat, no doubt. But for RAFIFA, I think it's a bit of a rude awakening, is probably the best way I can put it. Knows what he's got to do. As I mentioned, still 1-1 in that other game in this group, so certainly not the end of RAFIFA by any stretch of the imagination. Plenty of chances for him. But yeah, 5-0, that's not the opener I don't think Brazilian fans would have been looking for here for RAFIFA. Well, it really is their big shining hope. Obviously Lucas, the other one being here, but that's another almost breakthrough there. Sadio Mane being used by Dax. We saw him used a lot more in Madrid, obviously, as the cards came through.
He's a monster. He's just an absolute nightmare to deal with.
So fast as well. But still, we didn't see that many players using him. Even though, obviously, we saw Dax using him quite heavily, there wasn't too many used. I'm interested to see how these go. Obviously, Chu will be bringing us all the information about the foot players as and when we go through this tournament.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people taking him off, obviously running him ragged with that extreme pace in the first half and taking him off around 70, but he stayed on here, and honestly, no real need to make changes for Dax. He's 5-0 up as we move into stoppage time. 3 minutes going to be added on for this one, but it is going to be a Dax victory. Can he make it 6, though, in the dying stages? That'll just get cut out from him, and ref is going to blow. It's 5-0 Dax here over RAFIFA in the PSG.